Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about the jubilation among the January 6th defendants, who are 1,500 strong, and their anticipation that pardons might be forthcoming from President-elect Donald Trump, and their immediate efforts to have their sentencings and other proceedings delayed on the theory that Trump is going to do just this, and so the courts should stay their hand. Let's put this in context. 1,500 people who broke the law in plain view, who absolutely stormed the Congress, put the lives of legislators at risk, in the case of Mike Pence, at extreme risk, and who plainly violated many laws. That's who they are on the one hand. On the other hand, Trump, as part of his campaign and even before, repeatedly referred to them in literally loving terms. We love them. They are patriots. And he many times said he would pardon them. Now, that is very much in the Trump playbook, the successful playbook, I might add, of poking liberals and rule of law elites in the eye with a stick, and totally inflaming elites and, those effete types who care about the Constitution and rule of law. That was the campaign. Now here he is preparing to take the reins of office. How does he approach this? His representatives have said he will do it on a case-by-case basis. So it's already drawing a line in the sand that there won't be a wholesale pardon of all the 1,500. That's already going to inflame a lot of them. Let me just a quote that came out yesterday from a security guard at a naval base. He was one of the first rioters to enter the Capitol. He was convicted for obstructing an official proceeding, sentenced to 4 years. He had a lot of evidence of support of white supremacy, Adolf Hitler. He said he didn't realize Congress met in the Capitol. That was his defense. And then he was contrite. Now, what tune is he singing? I spent 3 years behind bars for protesting against Biden's rigged election. I waited patiently for this day. All my dudes from the gulag are coming home from prison. All my dudes from the gulag are coming home from prison. We were innocent on January 6th, and we are still innocent. And presumably the innocence has something to do with the elections actually having been rigged. It's a non sequitur, of course. It wouldn't have justified the things he did. But in that sense, his campaign is still Trump's campaign. Trump has repeatedly gone back and invoked the refrain that the 2020 election was rigged, and you have to expect him to embrace it and try to make it an article of belief among at least his folks, and do whatever he can to make it accepted by history, though that would mean, just completely disregarding all the evidence in front of all our eyes. But okay, you're Trump now. It seems like he can't not pardon anyone. He said it so much, people would be really up in arms. Seems like he wants to. So some people are going to get pardons. And the idea is a case-by-case basis. But let's think about this for a little. You've got a pyramid, as in any case that involves so many people, of responsibility. Going from all the sort of foot soldiers who just gleefully stormed into Congress, all the way up to the ringleaders like Stewart Rhodes, who's in there for 18 years. What are you going to do? Can you actually pardon anybody toward the top who people have heard of, and then not everyone below? People would be totally up in arms and would turn on him. But could you actually pardon a Stewart Rhodes, who is so plainly an incarnation of evil and a moving force behind the patent and most grave effort to resist the peaceful transfer of power in our history. That's very funky either way. So, now it seems very likely to me we're talking about a mean and nasty and riled up crowd, these 1,500 who will turn on anyone, including Trump, in a moment. You're going to have hundreds of people at a minimum completely irate. Why am I in jail and these guys aren't? They're going to be beating the drums of war over this and telling Trump that he's totally done them dirt and questioning his loyalty on the one hand. On the other, to open the jails to these 1,500 and say you guys are out, just for Trump. For starters, it's plainly not in his interest. It's not that he would have misgivings or second thoughts or worry about the rule of law, but sicking these people back on society and making what would be, one of the biggest moves of his presidency to just nullify it and let them all out. That would be, I think, crazy, and where he's already signaling that won't happen when he talks about case by case. So that's an interesting pickle, and how he determines whom to pardon and who not is going to be very interesting. Okay, in the meantime now, though, you have defendants already beating the bushes and telling judges they have to shut things down, and, really believing that the world has changed for them, as indeed maybe it has. But you have someone who moved to have his sentencing delayed on the basis that Trump is going to pardon him. He has said so. And you'll see many things like that. And Judge Christopher Cooper in the D.C. District Court very sensibly said, I cannot have my responsibilities as a judge be suspended based on speculation that maybe the president-elect will pardon someone. My job is to just go forward and do judicial duty and sentence people. If Trump later wants to exercise executive power and undo what I've done, that's fine, but I'm not going to stay my hand. I think you'll find virtually every judge in D.C. taking the same stance. But of course, just a few short months until January, and the pressure's going to be on strongly to pardon some, or maybe reduce the sentence to time served or the like. But I don't see what he does that quiets these 1,500 and doesn't make this a continuing kind of ruckus and controversy for him. He's made quite a bed now by basically saying he would pardon January 6th rioters, and it's very hard to distinguish among levels of culpability there. If he does, just somebody who was a spectator, then he's sort of disavowing his own point that the people who acted intentionally and on his behalf, his people who he for whom he's literally expressed love, it would back away from all of that to just focus on the low-level folks who knew nothing. So where does he go with this, and how does he actually bring it to closure and quiet when the people he doesn't pardon are going to be in jail and jumping up and down about it and calling him a traitor and a Welsher? It'll be I think it's going to be a real headache for him in the White House. In the meantime, though, I think we will see one or more pardons in fairly short order, just because he's made it so clear, and because it sort of vindicates his own continuing professed view that the election was rigged in 2020. So in that sense, it serves his own purposes. It's a mess. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.